You knew what you wanted. You even made the decision. And then you started to question it. If you've been second guessing yourself or going back and forth on even the simplest of things, here's what's really going on and how to catch it earlier. Maybe you sent a text message and then immediately read it and thought about all the things that you could have said differently. And you're wondering if you got it wrong. And you're still checking it again. And nothing's going to change anyway. And it doesn't stay small. It starts showing up more and more often. What to say, what to wear, what time to leave, whether to even go or not. And suddenly, simple choices don't feel so simple anymore. There is a part of you that felt that clearly early on, and then almost right after, your mind jumps in to check it. Not because it's wrong, but because it wants to make sure. Your brain is built to keep you safe, not to make things feel clear. So when something feels a little off, it tries to figure it out. It looks for what could go wrong, and then it just keeps going. But most choices don't work like that. And this is where rumination kicks in. That's when the brain keeps going over something, trying to get it right. It thinks if it checks just one more time, it'll feel sure. But most decisions don't give that kind of answer. The thinking keeps going, and instead of feeling clearer, you start trusting yourself less. Now you're stuck trying to feel sure about something you already chose. That's what drains your energy. After a while, your body starts to feel it. And that's because nothing feels finished. It's always there. You might even notice tight shoulders, a knot in your stomach, or at night, my favorite, you can't stop thinking about the decision. And the mind is trying to get an answer, and it never does land on one. This usually starts early in life. If you are around people who are quick to judge, hard to please, your brain learns something simple. Being wrong didn't feel safe. So you started checking yourself before anyone else could. And so now even small choices can seem so much bigger than they really are. I've been here too, and I still deal with this from time to time. I knew I had to leave a bad marriage, and I did. But for the first year after I moved out, I kept second guessing it, going back and thinking about it and wondering if I made a mistake. I felt angry, honestly disappointed in myself. Why can't I just be clear on this? I didn't understand why I felt so mixed up, but now I do. My brain was trying to keep me safe. It was used to checking everything from early on life up until I left that marriage. This was to avoid being wrong, and my body was still on high alert, like something bad might happen. Even though I had changed my situation, my body hadn't caught up yet. And it's not that I made the wrong choice, but I was still questioning myself. Now it can show up like this. You know what you want to do, but you hesitate. You wait, you sit with it. And sometimes, my personal favorite, you don't even decide at all because now everything suddenly feels like too much. So you avoid it, not because you don't know, but because it suddenly feels overwhelming. Here's another example. It took me 2 years to hang curtains in my new space because I was still dealing with the effects of my decisions and questioning. It just felt so overwhelming to do that simplest task and to make the decision on what type of curtains I wanted. And as I learned to stop questioning myself, those little decisions started to become a little bit easier. And I learned that every time I ignored what I felt, I trusted a little bit less. Over time, that voice, that inside voice, gets quieter. And this isn't about confusion. It's losing trust in what you already know. And this doesn't end with decisions. It can also affect our relationships, which we'll cover next time. For now, watch for this. Feel clear, you make a decision, and then you start to check yourself. That moment right there, that's the moment most people miss. It's not later, it's right there. So see if it happens today and just notice it. That's where this starts to change. Yes, some decisions are bigger than others, but we can always make a different choice. In the past, I've always thought that if I didn't get the choice right, something bad was going to happen. Again, my brain trying to protect me. But what I've learned is okay to pivot and make another choice. That's where this starts to change. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.